Hi everybody, it's Gail from Gail's Bookish Things. I'm going to do a collage spread here that is focused around bees and honey. Today my husband and I went to a little town that's close by, and they had a pop-up market, they're calling it, where vendors can just show up, first come, first serve. And today we went to see our friend who was doing a painting, a sale of her paintings there. And so we stopped by for the purpose of seeing her, but while we were there, there were also people selling honey. And that just made me think how much fun it would be to do a collage of honey-based, or bees and honey. I guess they kind of go together, but just to do a page on that. So you can see what I'm doing. I'll try not to get too sidetracked with a bunch of babble that nobody needs to hear, which I tend to edit out of my movies. Surprised, I actually do edit out some of that. I've noticed that I do that a lot in my videos, so I'm trying to stay focused. This is a Tim Holtz Ranger product. It's the Distress ink, and it's called Wild Honey, the name of the color. And I thought, yes, I just got that out and thought that'd be perfect. Didn't really get down to the edges, so let's do a little bit more. This may not end up showing a whole lot, but I sort of like the idea of making this the foundation, and then if there isn't any white space when we're done, the white space won't actually be there, which I oftentimes fill in with little dots of color. I'll probably go back and do my little trademark dots, but anyway, I think this will maybe make it where there's a little less to have to fill in. I'm really liking that rich color that comes out here with a little bit more of a heavy application of the stamp color. And I always forget when I need to go all the way to the edge and move the stencil. I mean, obviously they have to have something to, you have to have a little bit of a border, or you wouldn't be able to have a product, but that is something I forget, and I always end up having white space, so glad that I caught that this time. This is the bank paper that I am journaling on here, or collaging on. It's a notebook that I got from Paper Penguin Company on Etsy, and the owner of that shop first name is Dominique, and I have enjoyed buying products from her. I think the notebooks are really well made, and I also like that she has a variety of papers available and in many sizes. Didn't quite get into this corner, but see how that goes. We can always go back and fill it in. I've kind of pre-selected some things that I thought would go well together. I'm focusing on yellows and golds, just things that seem like bees, so, or the color of honey. These sellers today, though, that were selling the honey were, seemed like a nice young family. They're expecting, I guess they're expecting their first baby. She's getting ready to have a baby any day now. And they had a little, they had several sizes of jars of honey, and they also had actual live bees there in like a clear glass case, busy making their honey. That was really fun to see. And my husband has actually expressed an interest in not selling bees. We don't have bees to sell. Raising bees. I kind of like I'm getting distracted. I'm trying to be conversational and do this. Anyway, so we talked to them. What do you think of that? These are from my friend Sherry. Yeah, maybe let's go ahead and try that because we will balance it out too with other things. Anyway, this couple, I guess he has probably a job. I don't know if they both work or not, but it looks like it's sort of a hobby for them. But they also had like, I don't know, several 100 pounds of honey this year from their bees. And they don't live far from here. I live in the suburbs. They live in a little town that's just outside of our bigger town. And it's a place where you are allowed to have bees. Where we are, there's a lot of zoning limitations. So we couldn't probably have bees where we are living, but I mean, a hop, skip, and a jump away, you could have bees. So if we ever decide we want to do that, something will have to change with where we're living. But in the meantime, my husband, whose name is Ken, has thought, you know, I should just kind of look into, didn't mean to do that, look into what's involved with raising bees. And I do know of another lady whose family does that, so we could also talk to her. It just seems kind of fun, and it would be really fun to have the honey when you're done as well. This is from a jar of honey, obviously, but these are also somewhat local sellers. This is Amish community, and a lot of their stuff is sold at the local produce stand where I shop fairly frequently. And I like to buy their honey because it's local and it's raw. And I've heard, I don't really know much about it, but I've heard it's good to consume honey that's local because the elements that are in the honey are from local plants, and that helps with allergies, or so I have been told. I tore out a few pages from, not pages, but from a magazine, like an advertising magazine. They have bees and colors on here that I like. And then I have this again, which I've used before, but I like this blue. And there's a really cute little cartoonish honeybee, but I'm not sure if that color is gonna overtake my golds. I also have these from a book, but you know, obviously I have more than I can use. I have a lot of ephemera from the kit that my daughter gave me. I have a stamp here, and then these little bees are from a Burt's Bees like chapstick thing. I may peel those and get it down to a more papery rather than cardboard. And then these are from my friend Donna, from some scrapbook paper she sent, and I've tried to use these cute canning jar things from my friend Stacy in each of these collages. And then of course I have that, which I love the color on there, and it has the blue. So maybe what I could do is use these smaller strips. I think I like that because I like the accent color. I think I can peel this down. Yeah, that works. Sometimes I will take a thank you note, which is, this is what this is from. And if I really like the pattern, you know, maybe save it and repurpose it in my journals. So once you've read the sentiment, you know, sometimes it's nice just to keep the entire note because it is nice to get a letter or note, but sometimes, you know, it's okay. I feel like if you've appreciated the thing that has been written to you, and then rather than just throwing it away or maybe keeping all of it, it's kind of fun to put it in here in a collage or repurpose it somehow. I'm not sure how to go with this because the design looks like it's sort of all over. The bee is obviously that way. So So let's make the bee look like he's not dizzy. I would be interested to know if any of you watching raise bees or know anybody that does, or if you have any advice to share. This is something that's totally in the curious stage for us. Nothing we're ready to take a step on. And like I said, I don't think we can have them here. We might be able to hide it, but I think eventually our secret would get out and the city would be leaving us suggestive notes about get rid of your bees before we get you in trouble. I love these flowers, but obviously this is just too much. So I am just ripping it up. And I've mentioned this before, but I bought a book at Goodwill for $3 or $4 a couple years ago, and it's just all on flowers. Glue on my fingers. And so I bought it for the purpose of kind of just ripping it up and using the pictures in my journaling. I do like the little accent color here, and I like this coffee or teacup. I feel like I should have put that down a little lower, but I really wanted that darker stenciling to show. Maybe I could do that. Like I'm wanting to fill in these blank spots, but they will get filled in. On the back is some cute floral print. I'm wondering if I can peel this just to reduce the bulk, but I think it's going to end up, yeah, it's just going to end up tearing. So I like the rough edge around it. I don't have the patience too much for the fussy cutting. My friend Hannah from Sweden has done some fussy cutting with some of her collaging, where she cut out I think it was a lady on a pattern cover, and I had to admire her patience because, Hannah, I don't know how you do that. I could do it. I just like, get it done, put it on paper. But we all have different personalities, right? So I have fussy cutted. I just don't feel like doing it too much with this collaging. I enjoy the creative process here and just putting stuff down. I like this butterfly. It kind of picks up on the black of the bee here in this black lettering, but I do feel like it's almost too much. But I think maybe if I put some more black elements down or around elsewhere, that this won't overpower the whole collage. My friend Kim in the UK sent me these really pretty things that she had stamped, and she just did a whole sheet of them, so I can get out more if I need it. But they were different things, and those butterflies I thought would work well with the bees. Somehow in my thinking that went together. I usually put a tag on these pages. As you can see, most of them have a tab or a tag. This could stick out the side, but then on the other side it would be white, and I don't really want that, but here's a solution. Let's go ahead and just stamp that in case I decide to use it and have the tag showing out on the top or the side, and then at least it will be colored, so make it look a little more finished instead of just a raw paper scrap. I'm not sure. I do like that, but I need to think about it. This little leafy design caught my eye. I like those fall colors, so that's why I grabbed that. I think we'll just rip that up a little bit and add that element to our page. This couple that was selling the honey had a name, which I won't mention because I don't know if I should do that, but I got to wondering, it's the same name as a pediatrician we had years ago when we first moved out to the county that we're in, and that doctor retired. Do I do that? Or do I do that? Some time ago, but this couple had the same last name. And as I think about it, the young man was tall, and it was like our pediatrician was a tall man. And just, it seems like where we live, which has, you know, started out as a smaller community and over the decades has grown, but there's a lot of names that keep popping up. And they're inevitably, you know, connected, some kind of family connection. So if I ever run into him again, I'm going to have to ask him if his dad or grandfather was a pediatrician, because it's like a small world. It's so funny how the same names keep showing up. I grew up in St. Louis County of Missouri, and it was, you know, big then. But out here, it is growing and has steadily grown over the years. But when we first moved out here, it was still kind of a budding community. My aunt was so surprised when we moved out here, and she's like, do they have everything you need? And I'm like, yes, we're not moving to the boonies. We're just moving to what was once a smaller town. It no longer is so much. I mean, I'd say it's not at all, but there is still that family history that kind of pops up, or generational thing. So I think I like the look of this a lot. It really has nothing to do with bees, but I'm loving the color. So that could even go there and pop up and be my tab. And I need to not be afraid to overlap, because that's an element of collaging. I don't know if it feels almost heavy though, like there's too much going on for that space. Here again, another tab, or tag, I mean, which I could cut and have it coming off the edge. This is from, I believe, it's from my friend Kim again. I have a sweet friend also in the UK named Vicky, and they have both sent me things, so sometimes I am forgetting which one of these pen pals sent which item. I like the little added sparkle. I think I'm going to do that. Just adds a little pop of something, a little pizzazz. And I just kind of, if you're curious about collaging, it's something that you want to try and you feel like you're new at it, or you don't know what you're doing, or will it look right, my advice to you is to do it, because I just do it. I don't really know what I'm doing. I just know what looks good to me, what seems to have balance and yet looks really random at the same time. As you can see though, I tend to kind of start out my pages with some balance to it. And I also, you know, it just feels right. I put it down. I don't really overthink it too much. My collaging, as I have mentioned, has just been a place where I love to do what comes naturally. I don't, other than this theme today, a lot of times I just put stuff down. So I don't claim any expert experience, but with what I do, I would say to you, just have fun with it. Let it have a life of its own. Put stuff down. There are no experts. There's no police. There's no collage police that will come and say that's not how you're supposed to do it. So if it's appealing to you, getting back to my main point, go for it. Get out whatever you want, whatever looks fun. Put it down, and it's an easy thing to fix. So like maybe that should be down here, but I wanted my home state to show. I wanted Missouri to show, so I just moved that up. But I can fill in that little space with another one of my cute bees from Donna. I do notice too, though, having that rule of 3 works. So you know, we have 1, 2, 3. The asymmetrical aspect seems to give it balance, which is funny because you would think the same number would give it balance, but the odd number tends to do that. I kind of do like that there. I hate to cover up all that beautiful stenciling, but it is a background element. Maybe I could put this off the page. Or, you know what? I don't have to have all of this art showing on there. I do like that, but that's like prime real estate here. So I don't know if I need all of these little cards showing. So for example, for instance, I'm trying to combine too many words together. Let's add some of these little package bees in this space. If you collage or do scrapbooking or like junk journaling, I think you're probably like me and you look at things differently. You see a wrapper or a sticker from your coffee or packaging and there's a cute little bee on there, then you're like, oh, okay, that can go in a journal. This does look a little clunky here. I think I want to just peel off a little bit of that bulk. Put that back down. Luckily, that was still wet. There. These two are kind of close, though. But I like that in that space. Don't know. And I also have these. I'm not going to use that today. That won't work. Thinking about these tags. I still have more bees. These are more black and white bees. So let's just pull off that extra cardboard backing. I don't know. I'm not liking those quite as much as I thought. Maybe I just don't like it there. I think because of the bulk. But this, I think, works well in that corner. So we shall do that. And then this one I was on the edge when I cut it out. So I think I will go ahead and put that down there at the bottom. My apologies if I keep slipping out of sight here. Let's add that. I do love doing this. It's just so much fun. I just feel like a kid, you know, just gluing down images and just having a good old time with it. So I have 1, 2. I want to add another bee up towards the top. I need to add more glue to that. This would be a great journaling card. I almost hate to cut it up, but I do have one more piece from Donna that's stuck in my supplies. And I think I really like how they're printed on there. I like that in that space there. So again, we kind of had that movement. What I have been told by artsy experts is that that kind of helps the eye move throughout, because it kind of looks for themes, or maybe not themes, but similar things, or I guess that's a theme. Whether it's looking for it or it just does it, I don't know, but you know, dun, dun, dun. And then we have that there. So even though these two and this aren't the same, the colors are the same, and I think it kind of serves to have the same effect because of that. I have these. I'm not sure. I kind of want to use these flowers here. So, ooh, there we go. That's going there. Can you see? There we go. So I know I am just kind of saying this and that, but that way we can have this little visit while I'm doing this. So where we live, the Midwest, Missouri, it is September, middle of September, and it's still quite warm. We've had some coolish evenings, which is wonderful because we open up the windows and at nighttime, and I can hear the owls in the woods behind us. And we are in a suburb, but we back to woods. And I just love that. Love having the windows open at night, but I am longing for the temperatures to get a little cooler during the day because I love fall. I love October, or what I think October should be, because here it's funny because October can still be quite warm, and I just envision it being sweater weather and hoodie weather, drinking your pumpkin spice latte weather, and like today it was probably close to 90 still, but it's still September, but it's not the stereotype. There, I'm covering Missouri anyway. It's not the stereotype fall weather. I didn't think about that one. Maybe that would have been better there. Let's see. It's early enough to pick it up. Here we go. I like that better. So yeah, I just, whatever catches my eye, I just kind of do. I'd like to get some star stickers. I used to have some. I keep having this glue stick to my fingers. I like to place those throughout because they just add a little sparkly something. But I had lent those to my daughter Brooke, who was doing some scrapbooking for her first year of being married, and she works, and so she hasn't had too much time to get into creative endeavors. I don't know if I should put that there. I have that, and that. I think I will. It's starting to look just kind of scrappy. I feel like I need something that looks like something and not just random tears of paper. I need more words on here for sure, and I do have this out, and I'm going to add that. I have this stamp I made when I was stamping some envelopes not too long ago. I made a couple extra. I'm not even sure. I feel like I almost have too many bees, or like that this just doesn't work. I do really like the look of adding a sealing wax stamp to a collage page, because I think maybe that'll work there. Let's check though. Maybe there. I think it just adds some really neat visual texture as well as real texture. But it's just not seeming to, maybe there, but it's right next to that one. So that's my dilemma here. I just might have enough like actual bee things. Could go there. I feel like that spot needs something, but I just feel like that's such a repeat, nearly identical thing. It would be really fun to have a live stream, and then when I ask a question, I could actually get your input right away. Kind of like it there. It could be kind of, I like how there's these things, I like how that kind of looks on there. But there's that right there. So, and I don't know if I need all of this card showing. Kind of thinking that. Let's put it there. So I think I can't remember when I did this exactly how I did that. It might have been on parchment paper or just paper, like an old envelope piece or something. But I think it might help if you do that to put it on paper and then tear away most of the paper. And then you have a surface that the glue can adhere to. I have found sometimes just trying to glue things that are slick like this or this wax that the glue doesn't want to stick to it. Now I have this, a little bit of this writing maybe could be interesting. Like I like that I'm showing the vendors or the makers of this honey, but that's not my point necessarily to advertise. So, you know, like the barcode and stuff, I don't know if that is the look that I'm going for here. So maybe we could cover it up, but see what I mean? It's just getting out like I don't know if I like that. So let's think about that. Maybe, well, I haven't added any washi tape. I like that little bright pop that gives that, though. Let me come right back with my washi. I have returned. So, in here, I do have this orange and green. This is pretty bright though, and these are more like warm colors. Maybe that's considered warm too, but it's a pop. And I'm looking for more subdued. There is this fun polka dot. Let's just tear off a little bit and see if that adds a little bit of something that could be fun. Let's try that there. The thing about the washi, if you don't like it, you can just tear it off. I kind of feel like I'm bringing in some elements that maybe I don't want, like a little bit too bright of color. This is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous washi from my friend Kim. And I think a little bit of that here and there could be pretty too if I just do a little tear of it. It has the metallic gold element stuck in there too, which would pick up on those little spots. I have these sunflowers, which are in keeping with the color scheme. And then I have this blue and white striped, which would add a little more blue to go with that. So I think that could be done. And then I think I showed you the sunflowers, or did I? I'm a little scatterbrained. Let's try a little sunflower. Oftentimes I will just take washi and tear it and just make it a little less of a bold statement. Now, a good thing about this could be is that these black centers to the sunflowers, or at least maybe really dark brown, might help pick up on that. But sometimes I'm not sure that I like this on the other hand, because I do feel like the black centers almost are too dark, and like that's all you see. I love sunflowers. I bought this a while ago because of that, but let me show you. I almost feel like it overpowers the design. I'd like to see a little more green in there. And so as I put that on there, I'm not even sure I like that. I'll have to think about that in a minute, but I do feel like it gives it a little bit of substance. If that makes any sense, it kind of grounds it. It's not so floaty. The color of the leaves are so pretty, but the dark centers, I'm not sure about. Let's take just a little strip of this. I don't want to waste it because it's such a special gift and it's really nice quality. And here I am trying to open this. Okay, before I waste your time trying to do that, let's play around with that. I think, yeah, see, that did not stick. That may just not be dry and I may need to remove it. Let's take these off. They're going away. Too much, just looks like dark brown spots. It doesn't have the effect that I wanted to, which I don't know what that effect is, but I don't know how it looks. I also like to add tabs. I have that one. I have more with the gold metallic, and I thought I had another one out. Maybe I don't, but I think I'm gonna stick that there while I have room. This is from another pen pal, Stacy. I met Stacy on Instagram a few years ago. She does a lot of Bible journaling. She does a lot of journaling. She does amazing creative crafting work with like crochet and beads and journals. So anyway, she was very kind to send me a bunch of tabs and the cute jars, which here it is. I like to add those. Ooh, maybe that would be fun. I almost wonder though if that's just a little too bright. I might need to select a different one. Or I could, let's ink it up. Let's just see if I would want to use this with a different color. I think that's really pretty, but I'm afraid it's too much white and gold. That might not blend with the other elements. So I could do that, but I don't like that. But we could subdue this a little. Tame the brightness, which is gorgeous, but not quite right for this page. If I ink that up, how would that look? I kind of like the sparkle that adds. Now it's going to cover that, but that could be fun. I can also cut it in half or just do part of it. Thinking. Not sure. Let's put that aside till I have my mind made up. And this may be where we do a little editing. Okay, that took way too long. I could not get that piece to open up, so I cut another piece that was a little larger. I know I had wondered why some of the washi is backed, and then I learned that it's because of the metallic element. I guess that keeps it from pulling off when it's rolled up. That looks really neat. I really like that. That just adds such a fun sparkle, and I love this washi because it is kind of transparent, so it leaves the design, but the background kind of fades. I don't want to cover up all my little sparkly dots though, so let's reposition that just slightly. Somewhere I have cards to help tear this, but can't find them at the moment. Maybe that's not the best there because it's already got sparkle, so let's add it over here. I mean, so see, I'm changing my mind all over the place here. I like that. Now I do think maybe, I don't know if the 2 is okay because there's other sparkle going on, but if I can get this piece to open up, And a little bit, I think I would like one down there. And I don't want to keep doing that on screen here while I'm filming. So let's talk about this tag. Do I have room for this, or is that absolutely too much? I already have that tab. It's not really a bee. It's like a dragonfly, I think. So I think maybe I'll wait on that one. And is this a good one? Again, pages are full here. So it might just be that it is time to wrap it up. I think I will put a little bit of this scrapbook paper here to fill in just a little more of that space that seems wanting for something else on it. This is pretty, both of these designs are really nice, but I feel like they are like too dominant, that I want to have more of a sense of collaging, and that there's not enough of that with so much of just the card. So I could put that there. That breaks up that space, and then sometimes what I do is go back and I use a fine tip Sharpie, and I just like outline some of these things to make it pop out. So I could do that there, but that almost gives the illusion of there being writing on that postcard. Put that there. Not overthinking it. It's like sometimes you just you like it, and other times you don't, and then you can just tear it off. Like these guys, as cute as I thought that might be, I'm not liking that as well, but you know what, it's okay, right? We're just having fun. Let's experiment just a little bit with this. Oh yeah, I was going to put that there. I have one there and there, and then sometimes trying to do that, it just is too much. Maybe it's okay to have to. As you can tell, I keep interrupting myself, but I was thinking, let's see if we like this little pop of blue to give a little bit more contrast. I'm loving all these golds and yellows and muted oranges, but it can feel to me like it's not defined enough, or it's just all blending into one feeling, one monochromatic experience. So sometimes I find that adding a little bit of a grounding, I keep saying grounding, but I guess I just mean balancing color, like a contrasting color, like the color wheel. So I have all the yellows and golds, what would go with it on the color wheel. So now we have a little more bluish going on, but it's not overtaking the orangey yellow element. But I do think that that adds a little more interest. And then the only other thing I think is, let's go ahead and add some words. I have this washi. It says take note, favorite, love this. More liking that because of the glitter element. You don't need all these tabs. I did like pick out a few that I thought would be good, but in the end, to pick out what works, and just think I might need something there. That maybe is a little too much, so I will save that for another page. Sometimes I'll put a thing in the center to kind of create a little tip-in. Do you think that works there? Am I covering up too much of the bee people information? Doesn't matter though. If I do, I think maybe I do like that there. Maybe I want this one though. It's more square. It's just fun that that's my state. I do like that that's showing. I think maybe that's just a tad bit too busy, although I could cut it. Or maybe having a, kind of like that up there. Let's do that. I'm gonna fold it. I may cut it, and I may just kind of have it where it's dimensional, like 2-dimensional. Now it is, okay, I'm gonna just cut it because I don't want it covering up the sunflower. That's part of why I chose that, and as you can see, I have difficulty cutting a straight line. I like that. Let's do that. Let's see if we can. Now, it's going to be too hard. I was going to try to peel it so there's a little less bulk, but I don't think that is going to work. Put that there. Okay, still can decide about this, but I kind of feel like there's enough going on. I'll probably go and add my little golden and black dots at some point. I don't know. I may show that to you when I'm all done and have that finished. I'll tag that on. That's probably a good idea. All these little pieces I have left. The tedious job now is refiling those in my stash. I try to find that happy place of keeping everything that I can reuse and then just getting rid of stuff that I don't really want to use. Do I need something there? No, you know what? It's got the nice honeycomb. We've got a little bit of that still showing through, thankfully. But I think you get that illusion. So, illusion? Maybe that's the word I went. A lot of these words are peaceful, happy words. I think maybe adding black background would be best to pick up on some of this. But the white and the black could work too. I was thinking a word like busy or something. Let me select a few and then we'll add those together. Okay, I selected a few words and stuck them on. Make, creating, and peace. So today was a peaceful day walking around in this small town where the outdoor market was very small but still very pleasant. We went and got coffee. The day was peaceful, and that day inspired further my thought to do a page on bees and honey making and all that kind of stuff. Love the golden yellows and oranges. Those are among my favorite colors. And then bees make and create, and so I enjoy making and creating, and I just love the bee and honey and sunflower vibe together. Those are very peaceful to me, as it was also a peaceful day. So I feel like this looks complete. Again, if I had gold stars, I might add a few of those around, but I can add those in with my gold sparkle Pentel ink pen if I want to, or I'll just add some more dots. So I'll come back and show you when I've added those little tiny touches, and then we'll say goodbye for now. Okay, I think I am done. I have used my black Sharpie. I've used this, just wanted to show you. This is a, there we go. This is the Uniball Signo. I also have these in the Pentel Sparkle variety, and then the Jelly Roll. This is a white ink, which is really fun. Sometimes I also use a transparent ink just to add sparkle. So I have put some up on this tab. I just put little dots where I think it would add a little bit more interest, maybe in a spot where the page just seems to be kind of blank. there is a lot going on, but like right here, there was no color. So I added a few black dots. Again, I don't rethink it. And if this is something you're wanting to try and you're like, oh, how do you know? Just put them wherever you want. And then I took the black Sharpie and I did outline this, and this to make that stick out a little. Here on this dark blue, I added white dots. I added white dots to that in this piece. And it's kind of cute because there are little dots on the center of this pink flower, and it kind of looks like it belongs there, like it was made that way. This washi is not sticking 100%. So typically what might happen at this point, I'm done with it. I may date it, I don't know, but excuse me, these fall allergies now are driving me nuts. It's always something. Anyway, I might go back and embellish or outline a few more things. But generally that is the process. That's what I do. That's how I think. Thank you for coming along with me for this journal with me video. I hope it was fun for you and inspiring and makes you want to just make use of all those fun little scraps or advertisements or bits and pieces that you would like to do something with. It just is the most relaxing, soothing, maybe you could even say, journaling activity I think that you could even do. So at least it is for me. So that's all for now. Thank you again, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.